Exactly.
All right, we live now.
We're live. Hey,
Mhm.
y'all. Welcome to the TD Report. Got my man Jody Coleman sitting in today for Cody.
Absolutely.
TK, talk to me, man. Hey,
You know
listen,
how we do it.
we didn't do a production meeting on this one. We do things a little different on our show. We're really glad to have Jody on. Jody, whatever you want to talk about, definitely jump in. Tell us what you want to talk about. We'll do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want. In fact, since you're the guest, what have you got for us today? This is
So
the Jody Coleman. This is the Jody Coleman show on the TD
Yes,
Report.
indeed. What's up, baby?
hey, listen, if we talking football,
Yes.
we talking football. I want to talk about the quarterback carousel that's about to happen in the NFL this offseason.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of quarterbacks about to change uniforms this offseason.
You really think this is going to happen?
I
It's
I, I truly believe that I believe it's about 8 or 9 different quarterbacks that's going to change teams this offseason.
you really think it'll be 8 or 9?
8 or 9, and now it won't be some of the guys that we think, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go anywhere.
Okay.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm gonna tell you, these are surprise people. It's gonna be a hot take. I hope I'm gonna have my receipts. Y'all can go back and check on in about a
Oh,
week.
hey,
I want y'all
bro. We writing you down,
to
dog.
write this down.
We're writing it down. We're gonna clip
The,
it. So
the fir-
you have Rodgers staying in Green Bay.
I got Rodgers staying in Green Bay.
I tend to agree with you there. What's next?
I got Matt Ryan.
Wow.
I got him making a move. Now, like I said, I'm thinking more or less if he goes to Denver, that would be a great move. I can see the Steelers making a move for him, or I can see the Carolina Panthers making a move for him, and your Washington Commanders could be making a move for him.
Now wait a minute. Doesn't he have a big cap hit? 48
He does.
million?
The Denver Broncos are prepared to go all in.
Wow.
John Elway has been known to make some risky moves. He did it with Peyton Manning. John Elway wants to win another championship, and he'll do it by all expenses. And they have the money to take that cap hit, but they will have to win in a year or two. If they take that hit, they're gonna have to win in a year or two.
Do they have everything else?
I think they do. They got the running game. You got 2 running backs that had over 900 yards rushing. You got a
Okay.
fabulous wide receiving core. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got him. You got speed. You got Sutton. You got Patrick. He came on a little late. He came on. You got a good tight end. You got a good offensive line that you've been investing in the last 2 or 3 seasons. And
Got a
defensively,
good young
what-
cornerback just
good.
drafted.
Oh yeah.
Arguably the best young cornerback in the league. Arguably.
And we're talking about Patrick Surtain in a second. I
We
believe
are.
we'll be talking. I believe he'll be the top cornerback in football in 3 years. 3 years.
Okay.
So
All right.
I-
I heard the Matt Ryan rumor. It did come across on Twitter. I saw a couple of guys talking about it. Not as much where he was going, but it was the fact that he was moving on potentially, that Atlanta would be willing to, make that move. Now, he's still under contract, so this would be a trade.
It would have to be a trade, and I believe that Denver has enough capital, because if you look at Denver's roster outside of the quarterback position, they have one of the best rosters in the NFL. They have a top 8 roster in the NFL. So
They've whooped the Cowboys' ass.
Yeah, and they got
There you go with that shit.
But the Denver Broncos are in a lot of people's eyes a quarterback away from being the Super Bowl contender.
They've been saying that. You know what the interesting thing, Jody? They've been saying that since Von Miller was young, and now Von is old, right?
Yeah, but they've
been
won a Super
saying it
Bowl
for years, and they haven't been able to consistently put that quarterback in. They've gone to what? Paxton Lynch. I mean, they did try Teddy Bridgewater, who
awful.
If Teddy Bridgewater is a shell of his former self. That catastrophic injury he had in Minnesota, he's not the same guy. From the waist down, he's not the same guy. I think as a leader, I think he can still play quarterback in this league. He's not going to take you to a Super Bowl. So I agree with you there. Great stuff on Matt Ryan, making a move possibly from the Falcons to either Denver, Carolina, or Pittsburgh. I got you.
Yeah.
Or maybe Washington, dark horse, possibly.
That's a dark horse, because I think they don't have enough that they want to give up. And I don't think that quarterback gets Washington to the Super Bowl. I think that quarterback may get Denver to the Super Bowl.
All right. Who else you got?
I got Russell Wilson.
Now, this is one that's been interesting. Russell Wilson has 2 years left on his deal.
He do.
And
he does.
We don't know what the price tag is going to be from Seattle to want to part. And some people have even made a speculation that a deal with, say, somebody like Philadelphia that could give back a quarterback in return, and a bridge quarterback is what Jalen Hurts potentially could be. What do you think about that?
That will be an outstanding move for Philly. But once again, I think Russell Wilson goes to Philly would be wasting his years. I don't think Philly is prepared to win a championship. And I think Russell Wilson, you got to think he's getting in his mid-30s, and he's kind of a mobile quarterback. And when he loses that mobility, he loses a little bit of his game. So he wants to win now.
He's 33, but he's taken a lot of hits the last 2 years. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with you there. A lot of wear and tear, and he's even said so. So
too much.
So
what do you think?
It's only 2 teams I think that will fit Russell Wilson like a glove, and I think that they have the draft capital and the cap space to do so. One being the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the second being the Indianapolis Colts.
I think Indianapolis is a better fit for him.
So
with the running game and the defense, it looks more like Seattle.
Yep.
I've been also hearing, this was last week, the tea leaves were saying that the Colts might just stick with Carson Wentz and keep him there. He has another big cap hit. I think he's at $32 million on the cap hit. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I've heard differently. I heard some rumors that saying that the Colts they're putting him up for a trade, and I don't think they're gonna get anything on the trade. And then they said that they release him. That was another quarterback I was gonna say he was supposedly may end up in Tampa Bay.
All right, so we're down to 4 quarterbacks. You killing it, Jody. So you think Carson Wentz is on the move?
Yes.
Just an outright release.
If they don't get it right, if they don't get any trades, which I don't believe that they will. Let's be honest. I don't think Carson Wentz is going to get any moves or any.
And then he signs free agent. So he would have to sign free agent.
He would have to sign free agent, and the team that they said potentially would emerge would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Honestly, I like that move for the Bucs if they can get him. I think that gives them a quarterback with playoff experience for a team that was built to win for Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You just bring in another quarterback. Now, what about the word about Russell Wilson potentially being a fit in Tampa Bay?
I didn't really hear that, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I don't like that move for him because now with them losing that guard just retired, the 28-year-old All-Pro guard that just retired, I think that's a major hit. And Russell Wilson doesn't want to go to a situation he's gonna get consistently sacked again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They don't know if Godwin is gonna come re-sign with them. Mm-hmm. They don't know what OJ Howard's situation is. They know Ron Gronkowski is not coming back. We don't know what Leonard Fournette is gonna do. So it'll look like Jameis Winston back in Tampa Bay if Russell Wilson goes there.
Okay. All right. I think you're about to hit us with a surprise.
Well, I don't think it's a surprise, but Kirk Cousins will be traded, and I think Carolina is going to be the team he end up with.
That's a surprise.
Kirk Cousins.
They're not happy
right
in Minnesota, but to get rid of Kirk, that's a bit of a surprise. Now, who plays quarterback if they move Kirk to Carolina?
I like that you said that. Now, this is the person that has showed a lot of interest in going to Minnesota, being one of his landing spots, and that's Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has showed a lot of interest in being one of his teams that come on there has been the Minnesota Vikings. So the only way that you'll be able to get Kirk, you would be able
for 22?
For 22.
Because he might be suspended, so you're going to have to need a bridge quarterback.
And that's where you may look at Case Keenum. You may look at
he'll do it.
Already drafted.
He'll do it.
I don't think Mon. The coach didn't like Mon. Remember when Kirk Cousins went out, they didn't even bring Mon in as the backup. So I'm worrying about
Kellen Mond's future. I worry about Kellen Mond's future as an NFL QB. I think there's been some bad, and I'll say this, guys. His situation of what happened at Texas A&M between him and Kevin Sumlin, just kind of. Remember, Kyler Murray was also tied up in that. Kyler Murray, he got out of there.
Right.
Kellen Mond, ended up staying on. but there was a lot of talk about how he and Kevin Sumlin didn't get along. He was the one that brought him there. He recruited him to Texas A&M.
True.
And honestly, I think he stabbed Sumlin in the back.
That could be true.
He stabbed him in the back, guys.
That could be true.
Guess what? 7 years ago, Kevin Sumlin was one of the hottest college coaches in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he at?
Where is he?
I don't know.
He went from a quarterback guru, just a quarterback savant, can get your quarterback and your offense popping,
Mm-hmm.
in an NFL where everybody wants their offense popping, and he can't get a job in the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury was not a winning coach in college. He has a losing record as a college coach, but he touched Pat Mahomes. He touched Kyler Murray. He touched Baker Mayfield.
He did.
How many Heismans is that?
It's 3. 3 Heisman.
And it got him a pro job. And by the way, we've seen with the Miami hire this year, you can get a pro job with a lot less than that.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say was that petty? I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
the truth. The truth is the truth.
I'm sorry. I see a lot of these coaches, and listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, if I think a kid in college stabbed a coach in the back, I'll say it. I think Kevin Sumlin got stabbed in the back. Somebody did it, because this guy was supposed to be a potential professional coach because of his ability to work with quarterbacks.
Yes.
Cliff Kingsbury basically hits the trifecta. Was that 3 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks in 4 years, or 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks? And I mean, he was just hitting it with quarterbacks. Something's not right here. So let me get back on this. I'll get off my soapbox, folks.
That's all good.
Deshaun Watson to the Vikings. Where does
Deshaun
that
Watson.
put the Vikings in a rapidly devolving NFC North?
My thing is they have to make a move, and they have to make a major move right now, because you got Jefferson. He's still on his rookie deal. You know, Adam Thielen doesn't have too many years left in it, and you got Dalvin Cook, one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL. Kirk Cousins couldn't get it done with that team. Minnesota has a lot of talent, and Kirk Cousins couldn't get it done. But I guarantee you, Minnesota will.
Don't do it.
Jesse J.
We're only 12 minutes in, Tony. Oh, here it
That's
goes.
Kirk.
The first Jesse.
That is Kirk
Hey,
Cousins.
listen, he's made over
Jesse.
$100 million as a quarterback,
Yeah, he's a Jesse.
and I don't see why.
Because he hasn't. Has he won a playoff game?
One.
I think he's won one.
New
Think so.
Orleans down there when your boy pushed off.
Yeah, he
Right.
got New Orleans. He got him. So
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Now, but if I digress on this, I believe that Deshaun Watson comes in. They'll take. Look, he's not in any criminal danger. He's in civil court. So basically, he's not going to jail. He's just going to have to pay a lot of money.
we're not
That's
going to know till April, Jody. I mean, we're not going to know the results of the grand jury until April.
This year.
They draft late April.
So
They draft
April
late
1st. Supposedly it's April 1st, which means the grand
April
jury would
28th.
be when they would either hand down an indictment or hand down a no bill. No bill means no charges.
Mhm.
So, and by the way, he has to testify in at least 9
that's
of
correct.
those civil cases, which means I don't know I know some district attorneys. You're going to have to answer where your hands were. What did you say? What were you doing? Did she do this? Did she do that? Hey, Steve Crump, thanks. Vegas currently has Washington as the number one spot for Watson. Source JP Finlay. So he's one of the Washington sports media guys. Here's my feeling on Deshaun Watson in Washington. And listen, Washington fans, you can get mad at me if you want. You cannot have your owner or your organization wrapped up in sexual harassment, sexual assault charges, and then bring in a quarterback
somebody in.
that has the same thing going on. It's not going to work. It's not a good look. And I know people feel like, well, if we win, it won't matter. You know what? Washington fans have this nobility factor. They feel like they are more noble than almost any other fan base in the league, which makes no sense to me. If anything, Washington, of all franchises, should want to be doing it the right way. Let's do it like this. Would Joe Gibbs bring that guy in?
Absolutely not.
Would Bobby
Absolutely
Beathard?
not. No.
Would Bobby Beathard? Hell no. Why are we even talking about this? I'm not even a Washington fan. I remember the day I grew up here. Jody, where'd you grow up? You from Midwest?
I'm from Midwest, Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. Okay. You know the Browns. You
Yes, I
know
do.
the Bengals. Okay. I've lived here. I know the Washington franchise. There's no way there's no way previous ownership would have brought that guy in with that type of problem. And I want to give Deshaun Watson the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe he's innocent. Okay. Something happened. Okay. It's one thing for one woman to try to hit you up, and maybe you did something you might not have done or should have done on a date or whatever, and you have to pay her some money and she goes away. That's the cost of being a professional athlete. You get her to sign the non-disclosure agreement. You aren't getting charged with rape or sexual assault. She's going to be quiet. She got her money and away she goes. But when you have 15, 20, 21, 22, you just can't pay all those and not get
Nope.
dirty. And he's going to have, like I said, he's going to testify. And I don't care if they say that it's going to be sealed, his testimony, it's going to get out.
Right.
So, and even if it doesn't get out, when he gets to Washington and they have their interview and they talk about, okay, listen, Deshaun, everybody in this room, we've got legal counsel here, your legal counsel, we need to hear what happened. He's going to have to tell somebody. And honestly, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I don't want to have to. But I don't think he has a choice. I think I don't know if this is going to work here. Washington at this point has to do it super clean. The Washington fan base right now is very, very fragile, very fragile. We're talking about a franchise where they're thinking about, or they're making noise that they're going to move the franchise 40 miles away from the city. 40, not 4, 40, not 14, wow. Not 24, 44 miles away. Dumfries, Virginia. That's where they're talking about potentially moving the new stadium or building the new stadium. And in the midst, Jody, you're going to love this. They're doing a season ticket holder campaign for the old stadium right now. Yeah. They're trying to get everyone excited for their Commanders. They are going to, Tony, have you seen this? If you pick your seats, they will have you come to FedEx Field and stand in your seats that you just bought and take pictures of where your sight lines are and pictures of you with the stadium behind you. Bruh, Jason Wright, team president, is pulling out all the stops. He's got to fill those seats up, right? I don't think Mitch Trubisky fills those seats up. I think there's only one name that we've already mentioned on this list that fills those seats up. It's Russell Wilson. You get Russell Wilson in a Washington Commanders uniform, and FedEx will be filled to the gills. It won't matter that Dallas is playing in Washington. Okay. Instead of there being 25,000 Cowboy fans, there'll be about 15. That's still a lot of Washington. That's still a lot of Dallas fans to come to town. There'll be 15,000.
I hate to say this, but the only thing the Commanders going to end up with is Jimmy G.
Okay, we should have saved that for the end, but since you brought it up,
I just got listen. You writing this down?
I'm writing it. But
they're gonna end up with Jimmy G.
They ain't gonna. These fans are not gonna like Jimmy G coming here.
They just had Fitzpatrick at quarterback. What you mean? How are you gonna be upset with Jimmy G, who been to a Super Bowl in the NFC Championship game, had playoff wins against Aaron Rodgers, and y'all gonna get mad because y'all got Jimmy G and y'all done had Heineke. Y'all got Heineke. What you call him? What you call him, Tony?
Heimlich.
Listen, man. They won't. I'm a Cleveland fan, and they're not gonna like me in Washington because if y'all think that Jimmy J is a downgrade to y'all situation.
Y'all have a y'all got a Baker Mayfield problem. Y'all got to determine if you're going to pay him.
Well, listen, I wasn't done yet because guess who Cleveland gonna pick up?
Oh crap! Who?
Marcus Mariota.
That's a good deal for them. I like that.
What? Listen, Marcus Mariota going to be in camp, and he's going to challenge for the top quarterback position with Baker Mayfield. This is the underachieving quarterback. We thought that he was going to be something in Tennessee. He went to Oakland/Vegas to reinvent himself. He didn't really do a good job at it. We can get him for the basement bargain price, and he's going to put the pressure on Baker Mayfield to see what we got. So Marcus Mariota will be a Brown next year.
Who is your offensive coordinator?
Wow.
Cleveland?
You asked me too fast. Right now, I know Stefanski had been making the play
Yeah,
calls.
Stefanski.
But it was Van Pelt.
Can he get this done? Can he make this work?
I think he can. Honestly, I believe
Okay.
that if he goes back to the formula we had last year, not this past year, but the year before, and understand that we have to be an old-fashioned team and run the football and then play off the play-action pass, I think we can do it. It reminds me of the New York Giants with Eli Manning. Eli Manning wasn't an overly talented quarterback, but he still won 2 championships. Why can't Baker Mayfield?
I think Mariota can make throws off of play action. I don't think you're going to win a lot coming from behind.
But
Well,
they're
you
not
gotta-
going to be behind with that running game.
If
That
you got to
running
put the
game
ball,
will
okay,
save them.
you're going to, in other words, you're going to play what they call small ball.
Yeah.
You're going to shrink the game. You're going to shrink the game. You're basically going to tell
the Cleveland can.
look, if the Rams come to town, you're going to tell them you're not getting the ball 10 times today.
Nope.
You might get it 6, maybe 4. No, well, 6 to 7 possessions total. We're not going to turn it over. You're not getting extra for possessions, and you're not getting anything off of our teams, off of specials.
Having the New England Patriots had success off of that this year, playing the same way.
They did until Mac Jones if Mac Jones didn't make mistakes.
And that's what we have to have. We have somebody that's going to make limited amount of mistakes like we had 2 years ago when Baker Mayfield only threw 8 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Mariota's going to push him. I don't think he's going to start, but Mariota will be a Brown.
Jody, this is amazing. You've got all 8 quarterbacks down. You got them done in 20 minutes. Or are there more? Do you have any more?
Let me make sure, because Jody, I'm going to bring it back to you since we're on quarterbacks. Now, sitting here talking to you guys over the last week, I realized something that I know that the GM should realize is that over the last 10 years, there's not been a team to win the Super Bowl with a quarterback that was in the top 10 for getting paid.
And that is true. They get paid after they win.
Correct.
So, let's get to the formula. So if we're going to do that formula right now, Cleveland has Baker Mayfield, who's only going to be getting 18.
He's a rookie. He's on a rookie. He's on his rookie.
No, but he's extended on his rookie deal.
Yeah, 50 option.
Then you got your boy in the Chargers.
Yep.
Herbert rookie deal.
Herbert. Now, if Mariota comes somewhere, wherever he goes, he could go to New Orleans. He's not going to get really, really paid. They're not going to be paying them top 10. So you got to start looking at those teams like that and saying, what team hasn't played their quarterback, or as Tommy would say, past the 13% of the cap, which teams are going to be the team? So now, by that thing, that means Dallas is out. When you start going through, Kansas City's out.
Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay's out.
Right.
Atlanta's out.
Atlanta or Denver, whoever. Because somebody's going to be paying Matt Ryan.
No, but there's one exception. If you do the Renner quarterback like the last 2 years, that may work. I.e., if Aaron Rodgers end up in Denver, that may work because to me it's a short-term Renner quarterback. But the ones who've been there and paid, Mahomes didn't win on his rookie. He run on his rookie deal.
Right.
Russell Wilson run on his rookie deal.
True.
The last quarterback to win in the top 10 was Eli Manning. That's 10 years ago.
What about Big Ben's second Super Bowl?
That was his second Super Bowl was 2009. He was still on the rookie deal. And
but he was probably paid in the top 10 in quarterbacks in the league.
He could have been, but that was
very young.
Yeah, that was before Eli Manning. That was like 08, 09.
Okay.
That was before. So if you look at it, what was it? It was Peyton Manning. No, it was Eli Manning. And then when you keep going, then that's when Seattle got good and they had that run with Russell Wilson and them on a small contract. When they paid him, they ain't been winning no playoff games.
Well, you
When they
lose your
paid Matt Ryan,
flexibility. You lose your
Right.
they ain't been
flexibility.
winning no playoff games.
Yeah, you lose your flexibility with your cap, and the Seattle defense got old very fast because they were so physical, Tony. I mean, they were chilling guys out there, man. Great defense.
Not one person from the Legion of Boom is still in the NFL.
Sherman.
Yeah, they played. Yeah,
Richard Sherman
Yeah,
still
they
played.
said he wasn't. No, was he?
He was
Yeah,
on Tampa
Sherman
Bay.
is.
He was in Tampa
Sherman
Bay.
is, I guess. But I know, but he was on a 1-year deal, so
Yeah.
he's not even signed right now. As of right now,
There go
Not
hey,
Cody.
one
Cody,
There you
Gentlemen,
go. How you
gentlemen.
doing?
did you get a
look at
haircut?
these.
I had this for the past 2 podcasts.
Nice.
Yeah, he got the look. But if you look at the contracts, like I told you guys about Boy's contract in Kansas City, $59 million in 4 or 5 years. He's not going to be there. That contract is backloaded. And I found out who his agent was. His agent was Lee Steinberg.
Ooh, he ain't been in
Lee
the
Steinberg.
Is he
Lee
still in the
Steinberg,
league?
yeah. He's still in there because they said that's who his agent was. Now, who Dak Prescott's agent was Todd France.
Yes.
Agent is very smart because he knows how these NFL deals are. He wanted your boy in a 4-year deal to get out so he can get another 4, 5,
Another
6,
big payday, right?
another big payday.
Hey,
Paydays
Steve.
are guaranteed.
Hey, thanks to Steve Crump for jumping in there. Jody, Steve Crump said on the Jimmy Garoppolo, he said for the WFT, well, excuse me, the Commanders, they wouldn't have to give up a draft pick for him.
Exactly.
They would just be a straight sign. You don't give up your collateral. You get Jimmy Garoppolo potentially, and then you go ahead and pick. See, there go Cody. There go the Washington fans. You get Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, you don't.
And you can still pick at 11, possibly pick your quarterback of the future or trade back.
And the thing about Jimmy G is what I feel like it's a lot of disrespect for Jimmy G. He has more wins than a lot of quarterbacks in his NFL. He got a lot more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
I mean, you look at that run game, though. You look at the coaching. You look at the defense. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that are a lot better over there for what Jimmy G has had than what Dak Prescott's had.
But the thing about it is, when are we gonna start respecting the fact that regardless of what he has, he can't apologize for being in a good situation? Why do we apologize? That's like somebody apologizing.
He makes really bad throws. He makes really bad throws.
He does.
Like really bad throws.
Hey, listen,
like very
Jody,
bad ones that lose games.
He almost gave the Dallas playoff win. He almost gave it back.
Let me ask you this: Did Matt Stafford almost get a game to the 49ers?
Yeah.
Did he make a bad throw? Did he make a bad throw in the Super Bowl? A couple of them?
He made 2 bad throws in the Super Bowl.
Did he? But he almost cost the Rams the Super Bowl. He about threw it to what's his name? Tark. He threw it straight to him. Was that a bad throw?
He didn't though. He still won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. Jimmy G has been to a Super Bowl.
And he lost by making 2 really bad throws.
What I said about Jimmy Garoppolo in the game against the Cowboys when he threw the pick, when that pick was made, I was watching. I said, if he scores, Dallas will win this game. I said, he's got to score on that play. That's a backbreaker. Because when you see your quarterback who you ain't really, not really feeling him, he throws a pick and it's a pick 6, that bench, your sideline, deflated. Can't get it. They wouldn't. I think that would have broken their will. I think that.
But he is an upgrade from what they got over there.
He's 100%.
Don't tell a
Washington. No, he's 100% upgrade from Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke is an absolute scrub. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
he's
that.
better than Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no, Taylor Heineke is the worst damn professional quarterback I've ever seen in my life. As far as being,
that would be Nathan Peterman, sir.
Oh,
okay, I said as far as being a starter, like it's. I mean,
Nathan Peterman started games.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
he's terrible. He was terrible.
And where's he sitting right now as a third string quarterback? quarterback somewhere for the past how many years, right?
Honestly, I think Akili Smith might have been better, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I think he got a bad rap.
Heineke has the arm of a junior varsity quarterback, and it
Hey.
kills me. So anything is an upgrade. And
Shout
don't
out
get
to
me wrong,
Andre Ware.
I could
Shout
see
out where
them
you at,
definitely-
Andre.
I could definitely see Washington getting Jimmy G. That's just a move that they would do. But I also see him holding that first round pick, like you said, and getting somebody like a Malik Willis.
That first round pick isn't going anywhere unless the only way that first round pick goes somewhere, you would have to bring in someone. You'd have to bring in a Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Right,
That's the only way that 11 pick is going anywhere. Washington is going to make that pick. I don't know for sure if it's going to be a quarterback,
Me neither.
but I'm pretty sure it will be.
Well,
I think they might. I'm getting a lot of buzz that they might try to get that Malik Willis guy if he's from Liberty, if he's available at 11.
They love his arm. He's got arm talent. He's got
a lot and can move.
He's got a Russell Wilson caliber arm. He's got a cannon. He really, really does. So
I got a question because y'all asked about, y'all say quarterbacks that make bad throws. They said Jimmy G. I just remember watching the AFC Championship game when Patrick Mahomes threw one of the dumbest passes I ever seen to the Bengals to a defensive lineman picked him off. I seen Kyler Murray throw the ball right to long in his own end zone. So why are we killing Jimmy G like he the only quarterback to throw bad passes? But
I'm just saying Jimmy G throws a lot of bad passes in moments where you can't afford to throw them. I'm not saying that no quarterback throws bad passes. I'm just saying Jimmy G throws a hell of a lot of them in really game clutch situations. So when it comes down to the moment where you need to make a play and your quarterback needs to make a pass, he messes up a lot more than a lot of other quarterbacks. Yeah,
his timing is really bad.
Bad play. But when it comes time to win a game or make a pass, the guy is just, it's like pressure crushes him.
Cody, I agree. His timing is off.
Hold on, Cody. Do you agree that Patrick Mahomes is pretty much top 2 in the league, right?
He's top 5 quarterback for sure.
Okay. So his last pass that he threw was an interception to the Bengals. Is that correct?
Sure, yeah. Okay.
And then it cost him the game. And then in the second half, when they were up 21-13, he threw an interception that was inexplicable. So that's 2 bad plays in the second half. But what has he already done, though?
He's got a Super Bowl ring within his first how many years of his career? He's got a
3
accolades to be able to shun those 2 bad passes out.
3 AFC championships.
Jimmy G is
3 AFC
literally lost these games because of his passes.
Jimmy G done been to what? How many NFC championship games?
4 in a row.
No, I'm talking about Jimmy G.
Garoppolo.
I'm talking about Jimmy G.
Garoppolo's been to 2 out of 3 years.
How many other quarterbacks can say that in the NFC?
None. Not even Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm done. Go ahead.
And I'll guarantee you, Jody, that's a great stat. But I guarantee you right now, wherever Jimmy G goes, he will never ever do that again outside of the Shanahan system. And I will be willing to put as much money as you want to put on it right now.
Hey, you know what, Cody? I know you're a better man. Hey, listen, I like you, Cody.
Because he won't do it. He won't do it.
Mark that, because I believe if he goes to a system, even the Washington Commanders, because they don't have a great division, it's not like they're going to the AFC West.
It's like the NFC North. It's terrible.
It's bad.
Especially with the way, if they keep Scott Turner with the way that Scott Turner runs them reads, Jimmy G is going to be confused as hell with the backwards looks because he's barely able to understand a regular one with as much. I can't not.
How many wins did he have in New England before he left?
Who knows?
Jimmy Garoppolo, he might have had maybe 2 wins.
He was undefeated when he left, and I know it was a small sample size.
It's a 2-0, something like that.
Right. We can't keep saying this guy. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback. I'm not
saying him over Baker
right now. If Baker healthy, no.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
If Baker healthy,
I know I don't take him over Dak. I'm not taking him over Dak.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
I'm not taking Jimmy G.
Dak ain't listen.
Like I'd take him if he's the last option. Don't get me wrong, but
listen,
I'm not chasing Jimmy G out here.
I agree with that.
Like hell no.
So but when you go ahead.
I'm sorry.
We've talked that damn Fitzpatrick.
We've talked about no fewer than 9 or 10 quarterbacks. The names Mitch Trubisky hasn't come up yet, and Jameis Winston haven't come up yet. Those are considered the second or third tier of quarterbacks that could be available. I think if Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, and if Matt Ryan were to stay in Atlanta and Russell Wilson stays in Seattle, I think that ups the market for Mitch Trubisky. to get somewhere that maybe he has a chance to play on a winning team.
You guys did see that Green Bay released all of their that promo for their London game, and Aaron Rodgers was nowhere to be found.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's
At
tea
all.
leaves, but it's
You
not
did see that
terrible.
Russell Wilson scrubbed all his
They're
stuff
gone.
off of
They're
Twitter.
not staying in
I think a lot of that is posturing. I think that's what you're going to have to do when you're in a potential free agent or a decision, like an option period as to what the other team your team wants to do, what you want to
the
do.
whole next season, though, over in Green Bay.
Can you imagine? Now
Like the whole promo video for the overseas.
Now listen, Rodgers being in Green Bay, almost regardless of whoever the Washington franchise brings in, that impacts your season. If Rodgers is not in Green Bay next year, I've got to tack another win on to the Washington franchise.
Yep.
I have no problem with that, y'all. Yep. If Rodgers isn't there, y'all gonna beat them.
Especially if they go with what's his name, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
They're already posturing for him because I've been reading Twitter where some NFL insider had said Jordan Love is the furthest ahead of any young quarterback in the league at this stage or some BS like that. I said, you got Kyler Murray sitting here with 90 freaking touchdowns. You're going to tell me Jordan Love is better? Give me a break. Now, listen.
That's out of his mind.
I'm not saying Kyler is worth the $50 million because he's not. I don't even think he's not worth 40, but I will tell you this. 70 passing touchdowns and 20 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot of damn touchdowns in 3 years. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. At that point, if you told me that that's how many touchdowns you got of production coming from your quarterback position, by the way, 67% completion percentage.
Yeah.
All this kid has to do is cut down his turnovers, especially the INTs. If he does that, he's more than a top half quarterback.
And I think a lot of that has to do with his line, and that's why he has to run so much, is because the pocket is continuously collapsing. But if you give him a little bit of time, he can make those passes downfield.
He can make every throw, Cody.
Yeah,
you're right. He can make every throw.
Yeah.
80s. You've got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Arizona Cardinals should be lining up outside Brandon Sheriff's agent's door right now, waving money. They still have Kyler Murray on a rookie deal in Arizona. Joe Burrow still on a rookie deal in Cincinnati. You can pay a Brandon Sheriff to fix. You can fix that fixes your A gap.
I think Washington's going to franchise him though. I think they're going to tag him.
What's that?
I think Washington's going to tag him though because
that would be cold-blooded.
So last year they can tag him, and I think
that would be cold-blooded because
they're going to tag him because they need it.
He's all but put his house on the market, Cody.
Why don't they free that?
He said he wants to spend the rest of his career in Washington, so
they all say that.
I know. I'm gonna hold you to it,
So you know what, Cody? Juan Soto for the Nationals said that a couple of days ago. Oh, yeah. I love Washington. I love it here. You want $500 million, bro? And if the $500 million is in the Yankee pinstripes, you're getting on the train and going to New York. I would.
Hey, Cody.
That's me.
The only quarterback that scares me, Cowboy fan with Washington, is the least likely guy that y'all ever would think about is Jameis Winston. Because Jameis Winston doesn't have any fear, and he will get in that offense and push that ball down the field, which changes the whole game.
I saw a video
Jameis
today.
Ain't afraid.
He's Jim Plunkett. He's Jim Plunkett. He don't care.
I saw a video today of his like a little hype video of his recovery from the ACL, and I mean he's moving, dropping back.
Jameis will play.
How's his weight? How does his weight look, Cody?
He looks chubby. He looks chubby and overweight, but he always kind of carries that.
I say this about Jameis Winston. I say the same thing about Luther Vandross. There's fat Luther and there's skinny Luther. Okay? There's fat Jameis and there's skinny Jameis.
And if he's
skinny Jameis.
He's eating dinner with Zion down there.
He's eating W.
Hey, leave Zion alone, man. Did you see that float that they did on him?
Yeah, that was dirty.
That was wrong. Did you see it, Tony? You know, they make floats of famous people, like, in the parade. They put a float.
If I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Michelin Man and just put 1 ton on his chest. That ain't right.
Give me a set. I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up.
He's got to get out of there, Tony.
What?
I would have said New Orleans would have been the friendliest place. They would have loved him there. No, they would have loved that guy. But man,
he wants to play in New York with his buddies.
And he don't think they're gonna make fun of him in New York for being fat.
But he'll be with his buddies though.
Cody's got it up. Look at that, Tony.
Look at that. You see that?
It says I'm hungry.
Oh,
No, that's
terrible.
Zion.
Oh, that's Zion.
With the busted leg, with the busted foot.
Terrible, man.
The money in his hand with the ball, Zion.
And that's a beignet. I think he's holding a beignet, Cody.
Is he? Hold on, let me scroll up. Oh yeah.
They didn't have to do that boy like that.
Yeah,
that's a beignet.
Oh, let me get back here. He's got a whole.
No, that's a po' boy. It's a po' boy.
Yep.
Hey man.
Yeah, it's getting ugly in New Orleans for Zion. He got to get out of there, bro.
He'll be in New York. Don't worry about it. He'll be in New York. Don't worry about it.
Now, on a serious note, today in sports news, something did come across the wire. Buda Baker, cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals, had an incident where a fan walked onto his property down to where his garage is and startled his sister as she was coming out of their home. So someone was physically on their property today. Buda Baker put out a tweet basically saying he's going to protect his family. Please do not come to his residence to get an autograph.
Or you're going to be shot.
This is especially heightened for us people that knew, Sean Taylor when he was here, and everybody across the league knows what happened. That's the Sean Taylor Pro Bowl jersey back there behind Cody. Yeah. That was a seminal moment in NFL and not just sports history. Was where a very popular, well-loved athlete was cut down very early in his career by an intruder into his home. Now the circumstances around it, we know where the intruder came from, and it was a family relative of his that wanted to get things stolen from his house, and it's heartbreaking. But Sean Taylor should still be alive today. Okay, he should have been allowed to finish his career. Now you have someone like Buda Baker who's basically talking about athlete security and security around themselves, their family, their homes. Listen, we're sports media, guys. There's no way on God's green earth I would ever go to an athlete's house without an invitation. It's not going to happen. I don't walk up to athletes. If athletes come onto our set, come onto our show, we're always respectable about it. But you don't go at a man's family. You just don't do that. So you can't do that.
You never know.
Let me bring you on the historic aspect of this. We lost Sean Taylor, and people don't understand there's a ripple effect. Without Sean Taylor being lost, we would have never known who RG3 was here in Washington, because they wouldn't have been last place 4 straight years.
Not with Sean Taylor.
They wouldn't have got the number 2 pick and end up getting him. He changed that franchise hasn't recovered. He died in 2007. It's 15 years later, and they haven't recovered from that one death. I mean, people don't understand that this stuff. I mean, to me, that ruined their franchise.
That play when they played with 10 men on defense, that one play, and they let them do it. That was one of the best moments in sports, in my opinion.
That was amazing. Sean Taylor, just the type of player that he was. We hear the term generational talent. It gets thrown around way too much. He was a generational talent. Generational. And this was a team that already had LeVar Arrington on it when Sean got here.
Yeah, like as
even
a rookie,
LeVar Arrington was like, this dude. I mean, in pads. He could
play both safeties, and
he could play both safeties. He could cover, and he could play center field. It didn't matter
because of where the game adjusted to. Would have been even as he got older. They could have just moved him down to the box to play in the box linebacker because he was that good. Yep. So as he got older and he had to cover, he was gone right down in the box.
He was a little bigger too, so.
We saw a taste.
More bigger.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a taste of it when Landon Collins finally decided, "Hey, I'm going to do what the coach is saying, play down in the box." Landon Collins still has a nose. He still has a nose.
219. Yeah, 6'3", 219.
Who?
Yeah.
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylly, yeah. He
Look
was
up
ranked sixth.
look up LeVar Arrington's statistics. What was he, about 6'3", 250?
Oh, hold on, let me look
Yeah,
that up.
yeah. Arrington's about 6'3.5", about 245.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
that's 6'3",
Yeah,
245.
that's bringing it.
I
That's
saw
bringing it.
both of them field level in pads, and Sean Taylor and LeVar Arrington weren't that much different. I mean, physically, just looking at them on the field at field level. I'm only 5'6", so everybody's big to me. But when you see two big dudes standing next to each other in drills, I'm looking for Sean Taylor. I'm expecting somebody a little smaller, maybe a little thinner. No, sir. That dude was a load. Could hit, and he could hit clean. He could hit clean. People make a big deal, oh, this hit would be dirty, this hit would be dirty. The only thing you would flag Sean Taylor for is he hit too hard.
And see, that's the thing. Nowadays, they just flag for hard hits. They just flag for hard hits nowadays. There'll be so many there's so many clean hits that get flagged. It's insane.
It makes me sick. It's not fair. The defenders right now are at such a competitive disadvantage that you can't keep hands on anybody after 5 yards.
Yeah, you got to let them catch the ball and make the catch, and then you got to tackle them. Like this, it takes.
I think you're better off at this point trying to defend the pass and then try to rake the ball out before the guy hits the ground.
Well, and
that's the only chance you have.
That's why you see guys coming into the league like Diggs, who, if you look at him statistically, is always burnt over the top and doesn't have good statistics on that end because he's a ball hawk, because he knows the best way to defend the pass in this league is not worry about the defender at this point, is just worry about the damn ball.
Not let it get there.
If it gets past you, it's going to get past you, but get the ball, and that's, I mean, I feel like it's a horrible way to play, but
Diggs gave up a lot of plays this year, and you're right. He was probably the most. He probably gave up the most yardage of any starting corner.
Yeah, I'll say I think.
No, our other corner did.
He did exactly. Other corner did, but Diggs was still like fourth.
All right. So Diggs is a feast or famine player. He's either going to give up yards or he's going to get a pick.
No, but what you got to say about Diggs though, he's not like the rest of the corners. He's only playing corner because there were 4 dudes went first round at wide receiver. So Diggs is actually a receiver
at Alabama.
A real receiver.
Right. Yeah,
he
had to convert
corner.
Well, that's
because he doesn't drop anything in his hands.
He's literally he's literally been playing corner. He's been playing corner conservatively for about 4 years.
About 4 years. Yeah.
Total. That includes 2. That's 2 in college and 2 as a pro.
But did you notice? His only 2 touchdowns this year was against the 2 quarterbacks that he said that turned their back on him and made him play corner. It was against Mac Jones and it was against Jalen Hurts. He don't like them. It was personal. You notice those games, they didn't get nothing on it. Where they got that little BS when the safety gave it up. But he broke that Patriots game open.
He did. He saved them. He won the Patriots game for them.
He won the first Philly game too.
He won that. The thing is with Diggs, and I'll say this. The thing is with Diggs, he's got to manage more than anything. He's got to manage his ego. Okay? These interceptions make a corner think he's a lot better than he actually is. If he keeps grinding like he did his rookie year,
I think he's pretty humble.
He's got to stay even more humble because next year the pressure is going to be even more on him. Now he's a marked man.
He wouldn't be spending $150,000 on no watch.
Nah, well, he's like he's a very conservative guy though. I feel like. I mean, in everything I've seen him in, as far as voice. As far as voice, maybe not visually, but
okay.
If you spend $150 on a watch, obviously like the way you look. I just meant more or less ego-wise. Like he's not like talking.
I would caution any second or third year player in the NFL right now that's really killing it on their rookie deal to be very, very careful and cognizant of their money right now. And I mean that not that you're worried about labor problems, maybe a shutdown or anything like that. I'm talking about that second deal. I'm talking about the big money deal that you potentially could get. You are a fight at a strip joint, DUI, stripper named April is pregnant, I mean,
April though.
hey, not that I know anybody named April. Hey, April, the second email thing, I got you. So you are domestic violence.
Yeah.
You want to slap around? You want to slap around your baby mama Susie? Shouldn't do that, bruh. It's literally going to cost you money. I don't care. And listen, Tony, I don't care if Susie, I don't care if Susie started it. You shouldn't have hit her.
If she catch you with somebody else, and then now she's saying that you doing whatever, and now no.
Hey, listen, listen. Susie is like 5'3". Most of it's in her bra. She can't hurt you, bruh. Did she have a gun? Why'd you hit her?
So by talking about that, fellas,
don't hit Susie.
You go to Vegas, see all these first round picks. We see these draft people.
It's gonna be a show.
Look at the people that's gonna be around them, the girls and the chicks, and this and that. Hey, fellas, I don't want y'all going out there saying I'm definitely the TD report, and then all of a sudden the honey's looking at you and be like, "Yeah, that's my cousin right there."
I already got
all of a sudden.
I already got enough problems, Tony. I got enough problems. You know what I'm saying? You know.
You got Holly Berry. You got a Holly Berry problem. I told you.
Yeah, man, I got that problem. Man, listen. I ain't gonna say it, but man, I went to the Gentlemen's Club this weekend, and I'm like, bruh, I got to stay up out of these places. I don't see how these athletes do it, young. I don't see how they do it. I don't know. Cocktail waitresses just like me. I'm just friendly.
What's his name, Cody? Shermanator. All night talking sports to the chick.
Man, I'm gonna tell you.
Talking about the draft.
Whatever works. Hey, man. Hey, cocktail waitresses like to play fantasy sports too. They trying to win their league just like everybody else.
Hey, don't go in there with no TD report shirt on and shit.
Oh no, I never use trademark. Yeah, I don't wear trademark stuff. No, I don't.
Make sure they ain't putting nothing on here, man.
Nah, that ain't me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking for a dude from the TD report.
That's Cody. That's him. No. Go that way. Go that way. He's over here.
I heard he worked in the TD report.
Hey, man. So, I'm late. All kidding aside, man. Jameis Winston, you guys think is going to get a deal somewhere. Is there a possibility that Washington could end up with this guy?
Yeah, if they don't get a big three, I think.
I think he wouldn't be a terrible. I think he's a guy that can push the ball down the field. He's going to throw in. Now, listen, he's going to throw some picks. He's going to throw some interceptions. Washington fans are just going to have to deal with it and take the good with the bad. And guess what?
He will throw it over the top, too.
If you had if Fitzpatrick had been healthy, he would have thrown interceptions, too. But I do think he could have got the ball down the field a little more. And that would have allowed you to maximize, what you could get out of McLaurin. But what kind of McLaurin had a little bit over 1,100 yards this year, right?
If that, I don't even think so. I don't think he
just under like 1,097, something like that, right?
Yeah, I thought it was just under 1,000.
With Fitzpatrick in the lineup, maybe he gets up to 11, maybe 1,200 at the most. Tack on a couple of TDs, right? Is that enough to make a difference? Or would it be better to have things more spread around to that second receiver? McLaurin being your number one guy, and then having a better second receiver. Who was hurt this year? Samuel was hurt all year, most of the season, right?
Yeah.
You okay, Cody? You gonna be all right?
Who's that? Devo?
All right.
Curtis Samuel needs to go. And
he's bargain bag. He's big value, Debo.
Big Jesse.
Hey, those are my Ohio State boys, man. Don't worry about it. He'll get it together. Them Ohio State boys, man.
Hey, they got paid more than Ohio State than they get paid.
He got a lot of money. He made a lot of money this year. And honestly, next year,
it's the only thing they got together.
Let's ask this, Cody. And I'm surprised we haven't heard from Tommy. Is he healthy yet?
Probably not.
Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He's Anthony frickin' Davis, man. Jesus. I mean, at this point,
it's the most expensive player I've ever seen.
You've got to get, and this is what I think. This is what I think. I think you've got to get Ron Rivera out of personnel decisions. I think you've got to get him out of there. let Martin Mayhew and Marty Herney make the player calls. Let them bring the players in. Okay. I just don't like the idea of bringing in every former Carolina Panther and thinking that that's going to fit. Unless y'all gonna bring McCaffrey in here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. But I'm saying if you're gonna bring in somebody in here from Carolina, it's got to be somebody super high performing, like currently, right? A guy like McCaffrey might be that, but you get the amount of production you need out of Gibson. You're fine.
Yeah, we don't need.
You don't need McCaffrey. If honestly, I thought Gibson, the amount of plays that he makes as far as getting through holes that I don't even think are there, that you can barely see. They're so small and they're open for a split second.
Yeah.
His vision and his quickness to get to the proper hole and bust through it. It's very, very impressive. It really, really is. Great job drafting there. Great job scouting. And your blocking scheme complements the runner in that regard. You look at certain teams, I'll tell you a guy that's in the wrong situation. Zeke Elliott right now is in the wrong run scheme for him because the Cowboy offensive line isn't what it once was, right? You know what type of scheme that Zeke would be great in? A zone scheme. He would be fantastic in a zone scheme.
Cleveland, he'd be great with them.
If they run a zone, if they're running a zone,
I think they're good at running back.
Hey, we good.
They're good at running back. I'm talking about a team. I'm talking about those old Bronco teams with Mike Shanahan that ran that zone block scheme. Because Zeke Elliott, if you look at him in college, is a one-cut runner, and he always was. The difference was in college, if Zeke Elliott could put his foot in the ground and get the one cut, he was gone. That was it.
The thing about Ezekiel Elliott right now, if he accepts his role like Jerome Bettis accepted his role with the Pittsburgh Steelers and understand he's going to be a short yardage back using limited capacity, I think Zeke can still be successful and actually help the Cowboys. And he has to relinquish that starting job to Tony Pollard. And I think that will help him out tremendously.
They can't keep them both, though.
You love him on blitz pickup, though. You've got to have him for blitz pickup. He's too good picking up blitzes. I'm not saying he's on that Clinton Portis level, but he's very good at picking off guys coming up on Dak Prescott. And if you feel like you're giving something up and having Pollard in a game in terms of in your passing scheme, hey, we're going to be exposing our quarterback a little bit. I agree with you there, Jody. I really do. He's got to accept
your sound, Dave.
What's that?
It always does that.
Robot.
Yeah, no, it went to like you're in a hallway.
Oh, okay. How am I now?
Like, did you have a mic set up at all at first? Nothing?
No. But no, y'all talk amongst yourselves. Go ahead. I'll try back in. Go ahead.
But yeah, but going back,
mic up. Go ahead.
Going back to Zeke, he has to accept. I think his ego needs to go down a little bit. I know you make a lot of money, but if you really want Dallas to win, you good. Are you good now? No, it's still the same, I think.
Yes. It'll go back. It goes like back and forth. It's strange, Dave.
Keep going, Jody. You
good? Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? He's in a division where he needs to play pretty much a quarter of the season, a little bit half of the season. He doesn't play. They're going to win that division. The Cowboys are pretty much going to win that division.
I don't think they can. I mean, they just lost it the year before last. And, it depends on what happens this year coming up that they very well could not win the division with their suspect coaching. And they can't keep Pollard and Elliott both. They're not going to have the cap space.
After next year, we won't be able to.
Right. Yeah, the Cowboys have come to a stopping point on the salaries. The next 2 years are going to be a big salary shed for Dallas.
Is Pollard's under contract for the next 2 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Pollard's under contract. Zeke will be up in a year.
For some reason, why did I think he was up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was his money year. Like they needed.
Pollard was a rookie, and then this year was the second. He's going to be.
This is second year. So he's got 4 years. It's a 4-year rookie deal.
So this is the year he needs to make that money.
But see, the Cowboys are good. The Cowboys about to shed a lot of players anyway. I can see DeMarcus Lawrence is going to not be a Cowboy next year.
Van Der Esch.
Van Der Esch, he was already suspect. They got
They
rid of
talk
Jay.
about Redskins for Van Der Esch.
Tyron Smith.
Yeah, it's guys that should have been gone. And this is the one thing that I have to argue about with the Dallas Cowboy organization. They hang on to players a little bit too long. They need to know when to cut ties. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers are wonderful at cutting ties before they too long in the tooth and they can't get any value.
Smith. They cut Jalen Smith at the right time.
That was actually an excellent move.
That was a great move.
But
Jalen
I think
Jalen Smith can't play anymore. They got everything that you could get out of Jalen Smith. The Cowboys got out of him. Ain't great, but you're right, Jody. Dallas it's been endemic that they hold on to players too long. Tony Romo was held on to 2 to 3 years too long.
Dez Bryant was hung on a little bit too long.
Dez Bryant was hung on too long.
Jason Witten. These are guys that
Witten was hung on to at least 5 years too long. He could literally only catch the football and fall down if he could even get open. And then his blocking started to slip. And it slipped 5 years ago. Tyron Smith, been on the team at least 2 years too long. And they didn't bring up or draft a replacement for him. Because now they're going to cut him. Now they're talking about possibly having to move La'el Collins over to the left tackle. We already know La'el Collins has a problem staying not suspended for drug use, which is what happened last year. So, Cowboys, it's like these guys, and a lot of teams are guilty of this, guys, by the way, is they try to ride an expensive player for so long that they don't backfill behind it. Where's that second string left tackle or right tackle that can convert and play on your O-line when your stud left or right tackle blows a knee out 10 years into his career and can't play the way he used to? You're always having to draft or think on the fly. I just think this is poor roster management, guys. That's always been my take with it. I think if you were Dallas, here's what I would have done if I were Dallas. Tyron Smith 4 years ago. At that point, I'm looking for a left tackle, a starter. If I got to pick him, pick a third rounder or fourth rounder out of Iowa, Penn State, Wisconsin, and develop the guy if you can develop people. When you had Bill Callahan as your offensive line coach and offensive coordinator, you could do things like that because he could basically go to the grocery store with you, the scouting combine. Hey, get that one. That joker's, he'll pull 5 wagons, get him. He understands, okay, Tony, here's a name for you. Get you a Jim Hannafin, a Joe Bugle, someone like that, like an old school offensive line guy. That guy's just a pup with 5 years in our system. He's going to be starting. Do like what the San Francisco 49ers used to do. You remember a guy named Patrick Estes, Tony? You probably do. He was a tight end at UVA. A tight end. Drafted as a tight end and played like 7 or 8 years in the league as a right tackle. They just fattened up. They found a kid that played tight end in college and just told him to eat.
Screwed him down.
You see what I'm saying? Now, how much money can you make in the NFL? We talk about our boy Brody. How much money can you make in the NFL at right tackle or left tackle, Tony?
Shoo.
A whole lot.
Exactly. And Brody is bigger than Patrick Estes, right? 6'7", about 300. This is his boy at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
That kid. And by the way, Jody, you're gonna love this guy. Straight A student.
Oh yeah.
Straight A's. You don't get
I like
no
that.
B's. He's gonna go to Virginia Tech. He's gonna major in what? Engineering or something like that. Some big brain shit. And go get drafted in the NFL, be in the NFL for about 9, 10, 11 years. Maybe get him
make a lot of money.
We don't know. But everything is there for him, right? Because of that. Some of it is the genetic lottery, but a lot of it is his family. Great family background. But these are the things that coaches need to see. And you need coaches that can see it and find it and draft it. And I just don't see that in Dallas. I don't see the innovation in Dallas like I saw when Tex Schramm owned the team and, Tom Landry was the coach or Jimmy Johnson was the coach. And then Jerry just owned the team. Jimmy Johnson was innovating in Dallas. He was doing things in Dallas the teams still do now. Hey, let's get a kid in here that played strong safety in college. We're going to make him a linebacker. No, let's get a guy that played, outside linebacker in college.
Dexter Copley.
Huh?
Remember what they did with Dexter Copley?
Yep.
Where
Yeah.
did he go to college? Was it Appalachian State?
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
very small university, and he came in. He had a tremendous career. You know,
Dat Win. They got tackles out of Dat Win, man.
Well,
Dat Win from Texas A&M, who you
Let me-
can't, who's like 5'8".
let me ask you this though, and Tony, it's no disrespect. I really don't care, but the reason why Dallas Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl in 25 years is they got a Jerry Jones problem. Jerry Jones' ego will not allow him to sit back and really get out of the limelight. He won't sit back. He held on to Tony Romo way too long. He should have got rid of Tony Romo. He kept DeMarco Murray. He should have signed him back, DeMarco Murray. He got rid of him when he should have kept him. But guess what? He
Held
didn't
on
want
to
to pay
Marcus Ware too long.
too long. But he goes to Denver and win a Super Bowl. Something that
He was
couldn't do.
rejuvenated. He was
Right.
rejuvenated. Yeah.
But Jerry Jones did not want anybody to be smarter in the room than him. He wants to be the smartest guy in the room. And Dallas, look, man, my son likes Dallas. My kids live in Arlington, right there by the stadium. And I've been down there many times. It's no way that the Cowboys deserve not winning a Super Bowl with the type of talent that they have. And if Jerry Jones don't go sit down and let his ego, just let guys that know football run it.
That's the problem, Jody. He thinks he knows football.
He do, but not this guy, man. Listen, man. I watched the Cowboys because I got a lot. Trust me, even though I'm in the Midwest, it's everybody love it. It's a Cowboy group here that's almost as big as the Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati group here. Listen,
That's crazy.
it's huge. I mean,
And the Bengals deserve better. They did a great job this year, but the Cowboys still have that entrenched fan base that has been there. These guys have probably been fans since the '90s, Jody.
and that's
or
the
longer.
thing. Is they get rid. I don't understand. Like, how do you have 5 and 6 Pro Bowlers every year and you can't get to the NFC Championship game? Every year they got about 5, 6. That's my whole point. And it's like y'all got all these Pro Bowlers, all these All Pros, and y'all still y'all. Michael Parsons is an animal. You got Diggs, who he give up, he high risk but high reward. And sometimes I'll take a turnover any day if I can get. You give up a few yards and you give me a turnover at the end of the day, I take a turnover any day. That changes the complexion of any game.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're right.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm going as a non-biased person on this. The Cowboys, man, they deserve better with the talent they done had over the years. The Dez Bryants, the Jason Wittens, the Tony Romo, the DeMarco Murray, those guys, man. And for y'all to not have one playoff win?
They got one.
That's what I'm saying. They got one playoff.
They have two. They have two.
So that
They
got
beat
one,
Seattle.
and Tony
They beat
Romo
Seattle and they beat Detroit.
But that's not good.
That's not good enough. No,
it's not good. Not for what, and not for the amount of money they're spending.
That's right. Now, Jerry Jones is a very smart businessman, and he's a businessman in one of the toughest industries in the world, oil. Okay. He finds where the oil is. That's what he does. He strikes the hole, and oil comes out. That's how he makes his money, or how he made his money. But you're right. For the amount of money that he pays out, the reward that they get back in terms of wins. And I would say this, I think Dallas needs to look at this more as being a card counter at the casino. Okay. He's trying to buy the wrong things. He shouldn't be spending money to get players. He should be spending money to get wins. How do you distill everything down into from football into one number that equates to wins? That's the Moneyball concept, right?
Yeah.
How you evaluate players, right? That's where Dallas is losing. I've always felt this. I felt like Pittsburgh, New England, even Seattle in their heyday were very good at that. They were able to purchase wins, not by purchasing players, by purchasing victories. That's how they did it. How do we win games? We win games by doing A, B, and C. Okay, get me players that can give me A, B, and C. That's how you win.
You know an organization, an organization that used to be great at that, used to be anyway. New York Giants. New York Giants used to be an organization that got the most. They were tremendous until I don't know what happened the last 5 years. But they used to maximize little to nothing, and they used to win when they needed to. 2 Super Bowl championships in that market.
that was the problem with that, Jody, was the issues at the general manager spot. Gettleman and Jerry Reese, the two of them were the last two GMs that they had. Gettleman has retired. A lot of, you know what it was, guys? And TK, you can tell me if I'm wrong. A lot of empty drafts. Made a lot of bad draft picks at the high part of the draft. Daniel Jones, probably a bust. Jabril Peppers, not good enough. Where they drafted him. You see what I'm saying? Jabril Peppers is a good player. He doesn't really have a position. You see what I'm saying? And this falls into the how do we win games, and does this player help us win the games in the way that we win them, right? I'll tell you who's doing it the right way. Kansas City Chiefs, at least on offense, are doing it the right way. How do we win games? We outscore people. Okay. They've been getting players to help them outscore people. Los Angeles Rams, how do we win games? We have to outscore. The way that came to that Super Bowl that we looked at with the Rams winning the Super Bowl this year, the precursor to that game was the game against the Rams and the Chiefs. What was it, Tony? 45-42, something like that. They played out and they played it out in LA.
I think it was over 50 points in that game. I think the Rams beat them and they scored
52-49 or
something like that.
High scoring game.
Yes.
That's what Kansas City was saying. We're not going to stop anybody on defense. We're not really trying to. We're just trying to slow them down. We're trying to piss them off. That's it. We want to get the football last, right? Either down, we don't want to be, okay, we want to get the football last, we need a touchdown to win, or we want to get the football last and we got to run the clock out or score to ice the game. That's what Kansas City wants to do to you. Other teams have to play you in a phone booth because we can't score, we don't score much, and we don't give up many points. So we've got to make this game short. We got to play it in a phone booth. The way that Cincinnati played that Super Bowl was almost perfect. That was the exact game that they needed to play in order to have a chance to win. They can't win that game if it's a 45-40 game. They can't. They just can't keep the points off the board and score enough to hold down the Rams.
If that would have been in the 40s, Burrow would have been sacked 11 to 12 times if it would have been any higher. If they would have had to throw the ball anymore, he would have been he might have went out with at least 11 sacks.
Look, your boy looked like Daniel LaRusso out there hopping around on one fucking leg. He messed up his MCL in that game, Tony. You got to talk to your boy. That's Tony's nephew. You got to talk to Joe, man. He got to start making business decisions with them legs.
Yeah, I think
he was gonna get killed out there.
I think Joe Burrow's Super Bowl is the reason why offensive linemen will be taken first. For
no question.
For your boy, for what's his name, Trevor Lawrence.
No. But like I said, we had this conversation before, and everybody think that Evan Neal is going to be the first guy to go. And I understand the significance of offensive line play. I just unless they're going to list him as a tackle, if he's
they got him listed as a tackle.
He can play multiple positions on that offensive line.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
They need him.
They need him bad.
They definitely do need him, but
they need him bad. I mean, at this point. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think we can start to kind of wind it down. I've kept y'all on here. And Jody, it's been great having you, man. Again, great show. This is one of our best shows. Jacksonville is in the AFC.
Yes, sir.
It's the home of young stud quarterbacks. And they think they have one. They need to start getting him to where he's thought of as a top 7, top 8 quarterback just in his division. Right. I mean, just in his conference, because Justin Herbert, Deshaun Watson, who else we got?
Josh Allen,
Derek Carr,
Lamar Jackson. Let's not forget about
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. It feels like Lamar Jackson's been in the league 10 years. He's 26 years. He's 25.
Right.
Pat Mahomes is 26, and Pat Mahomes is 26, and he sat his rookie year. So. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars organization, you've got to start getting this. You got to kick this pig. You've got to get this going. So I think they take that tackle on the first pick. But that's my take on it. So listen, guys, we're gonna cut this edition of the TD Report. We're gonna be at an hour and 15 minutes, one of our longer shows. Jody, you got to come back, man. And by the way, I
Listen.
clipped you. I got your numbers here. I got you all written down. It says over here.
Hey.
Let me just say.
Hey, I
here we
like
go.
receipts. I like receipts.
Jody's picks. See that? Jody Coleman. We got you.
Third-
Listen,
Thursday is my birthday, baby. I turned
Yep.
52. We're gonna be at my mom's Thursday night. We're gonna be going from my mom's. We're gonna be live with each
Yeah,
other.
it's going to be the party. Is she going to have the party that night?
Oh, there ain't gonna be no little party. We're just gonna sit in there and probably eat some mac and cheese and,
Okay.
and
Okay.
get some cake.
hey,
That's
you-
cool.
I don't.
Mom's
I
take care of us.
I
She
come
know I
down
want
that
some
road.
crab legs.
I told you I'm only about 7 hours away. I'll be there.
All
Oh, I
right.
know
Don't-
you're gonna
don't-
be here for the Washington Cleveland game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The question is, who's going to be quarterbacking for Cleveland that day?
Hey, it better be Baker Mayfield because he gonna be on a short leash. He's gonna be on the
Ooh.
extremely short. I'm talking about. We talking about almost a choker.
Y'all
That-
making me look bad, by the way. I had y'all in the Super Bowl last year. I had y'all I had y'all making at least the AFC Championship game this season.
Listen, man. I thought I was gonna be there too. I told TK. I told him. I said, man, if we go, I'm taking the whole month off. I'm taking the whole
The
month off
month?
work. I'm taking the whole month off. It's gonna be like Black History Month. I'm gonna take the whole month off.
Browns History Month.
That's what it's gonna be. Because, like I told TK, I said, if y'all seen what Chicago did when the Cubs won the championship,
Woo.
just imagine what would happen if the Cleveland Browns win the championship.
That was
I'm gonna
foolish.
leave it right there. It's gonna be
Hey,
some.
The only thing that we can talk about that's anywhere close was the year that the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup, because DC was lit all summer.
I can believe
I
that.
think your boy Ovechkin finally sobered up last year. It was wild. Yeah, man. It was fun. But listen, guys, let's do this again on Thursday. I'm gonna sign us off. I'm David from the TD Report here with Tony Kennedy and our man Jody Coleman from
Yes, sir.
Ohio.
My man
Yes.
from Ohio.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Not
Gotta get that
Cincinnati,
Midwest
but
love in here,
Cleveland.
man. Hey, thanks a lot, gents. Great show.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man.
We out.
Peace.